I loved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gave great speeches and his leadership inspired and galvanized the people. But by the end of his life, he seemed to have realized that he had integrated his people into a burning house. It was like we left our businesses behind and our power got scattered. It became apparent that our main goal should have been economics. Back in the day, we had our own. Our dollars stayed with us and our communities thrived. It's time for us to move past our trauma as a people, favor each other and commit to the staunch support of our businesses. Well, it's time for us to rebuild. iShop.Black is an opportunity for us to renew the spirit of Black Wall Street now, when we began to pool our nearly $2 trillion buying power on this platform. It's time to unify and again began to circulate our dollars among our own at iShop.Black. Join us at iShop.Black. Let's make every dollar count when we buy and sell with our own. Come set up your online store with us. Let's build our future together. For a limited time, only take advantage of 25% off on all subscriptions on iShop.Black. You can have your store up and running for our lowest price ever, around $26 per month. Offer expires September 30th, 2024. Scan the QR code below.
Join us for our tech podcast on Sundays at noon.
Hello everyone, join us on an exciting journey with Explore the World Cameroon. London and Sydney go take you explore Cameroon, the heart of Africa. Experience the vibrant culture, nature and traditions from Yaoundé market to rainforest adventures. Every page na new discovery. Join the Cameroonian food, music and wildlife with our explorers. This book na true celebration of Cameroon spirit. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and through your library and bookstores via Ingram's Park. Don't miss this adventure.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, we starting that off early, right? Boom, I'm there. All right. Hope everybody is doing well. Well, we didn't want to hear that. We actually wanted to hear that. So thank y'all for joining us on this Friday. You know, I was kind of running around today and little busy doing some other things. You know, sometimes we doing this, especially doing so much content that we're doing here, you get kind of stuck sometime, you know. And I was like, you know, what I thought I was supposed to cover this or cover that. I get so many emails and things like that, and sometimes we get stuck. Believe it or not, we discuss this in the background. We get stuck sometimes. You think, oh, there's so much to talk about. Not all the time. You can get stuck because, yes, there's a lot to talk about, but can you do it justice? That's always the deal. So people think, oh, it's easy. Y'all just turn on the camera. Y'all got a microphone. Y'all just talk, and y'all go sit down, and y'all can get revenue from it and all that. It's not that easy. It is not that easy, because this is the way it works. If y'all don't know, I've been doing this for about 12 years. I know that's a long time. 12 years. You always got to find out what's the next thing, what's going on, what the people are talking about. Because if you don't move with the people, then you become not relevant anymore. And once you get into that stage that you're not relevant, then you can hang it up. So it's definitely, especially the longer you be in it, like when somebody new, they pop off because they knew, right? But sometimes they knew, they fizzle out. That happens too. What creates the staying power? Whatever kind of person, right? And maybe I can do a course on that. Staying power, relevancy. Because, now YouTube allows you to make courses. I don't know. Y'all interested in a course like that? I can do that. I normally don't like to talk too much about how I do things, but I give people preliminary advice, right? Because, this is not my issue. See, the issue is not the brothers and sisters in the community getting some information, but see, you got other people lurking around too, okay? And these other people want to know how they do that, how they do it. And something you say may give them something. You know how it is. They have an advantage just for showing up. And so now they got something you know how to do that they didn't have before, and with their advantage just for showing up, just for being in the room, and there you go. And you can literally see something you was doing, and now they're making $1 billion off of something that you struggling to do. You know how many times that's happened to black people, that you're struggling to do different things, you're struggling for this, struggling for that, then they could take whatever something you said and make $1 billion, $2 billion off of it just because it's them. I mean, that's beyond which that's one of the most frustrating things about the United States of America. It's not when they say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or you just work hard. Or, listen, if it was like that, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with working hard. I'm cool with pulling myself up by my bootstraps. I'm cool with that. But what I'm not cool with is when you're doing all that and a person is halfway doing it or not even putting their boots on at all, and they getting way more than the black person who is pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, who is working hard, for just showing up. That's the thing about America I don't like. Right there, right? So, yeah, just giving y'all a little rant, for the day, because maybe some of y'all feel that way on your job. It doesn't get easier just because you're working for yourself. Actually, it's harder when you work for yourself. Then at the same time, we're dealing with us, okay? And dealing with us, there are certain things that go along with that too. Whether it's us here in America or us in different countries, you're still dealing with us, right? Now, I rather deal with us than dealing with others, because others, I don't know what they got going on half the time, but I know what's going on with black folk. And I rather have that issue because I can kind of case what you're doing. But yeah, outside of that, some of y'all may feel it. Maybe y'all needed me to say that. Maybe you need to hear that today on your job or your business or whatever. Like I said, what I will say, hang in there. Pray, definitely pray. If you can, take a vacation sometimes, back off and say, you know what, let me take a couple of days off and get some things done. Like me, I haven't really took off no time since we went to South Africa, but really that wasn't a vacation for me. That was work, but still, it was still out of America, I would say, and I have to think about some things I did think about when I'm here in this country, at least. But yeah, it's almost getting to my time where I need to take a break. I tell you what, I'm gonna have to get a break here. That's for sure. Not too long. But yeah, 'cause this election stuff, it's getting so silly. It's getting so silly, and I'm even getting tired of this election already. I'm tired of it. I'm just getting to a point and say, okay, can we just vote tomorrow and get this over with so we can all go back to normal? I'm sick of seeing the shields. I'm sick of hearing the arguments. I'm sick of all of the backbite. It's just annoying. Like, can we vote already? Please, can we vote and get this over with? And whoever wins, we'll deal with it. Oh, my God. Aren't y'all getting tired of this election stuff already? I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, it just get. We're going to talk about it, of course. But I'm just saying, like, the silliness that I see, and I guess because I've been doing this so long and I've kind of seen the playbook already with how people move, the same kind of people only come out every 4 years, like the Angela Ryes of the world. After the election, you don't see Angela Rye no more. You don't see the same cast of Boulay Shields. They go into their, corner somewhere. You don't see them no more. Then election time, here they come. They pop back up. Maybe around the midterms, and they pop back up and start doing all the shilling and the shaming and all the things that they do. Then they go back to their basement. Then comes the 4-year term. They back shilling and shaming, right? And it's like just a constant cycle of the same thing. And like I said, I've seen this for years. I've seen it. You say Myron's annoying bald spot? Oh, my God. So that's your screen name, Myron's annoying. And no, you talk about Myron Gaines. That's only Myron I can think you're talking about, right? That's kind of funny. That is funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you for joining us on this show tonight. I had to laugh at that. We greatly appreciate that. We're gonna get into your favorite vice president, definitely. If you're going on the Ethiopia trip, make sure that you are keeping up with all your payments and things like that. Just another friendly reminder. Those of you who have downloaded the African Diaspora News Channel app, Google Play and Apple App Store, I had a meeting the other day with Sister June. Sister June is the sister that do everything for our website and app and all of that. And in the meeting we had with her, she said it's a lot of people here that's didn't for some reason their renewals on their monthlies didn't go through. So if you have joined the monthly, you say, oh shoot, man, I forgot about that. Yeah, because that the month, put it like this, those subscriptions on the app help us keep the platform going, because if I could tell y'all some stories, and maybe I'll do that on the app, and maybe one of my Boss Chronicles, tell y'all what really goes down behind the scenes on these platforms, what we have dealt with on these platforms, and why I even went that route with an app. Because y'all just I just kind of see where things are going, and you just don't want to be caught up in anything, right? So you just kind of make sure you have your own lane, whatever that may be. Just like I have decided, okay, we got to go other directions, create other shows, do things like that, on the app, because you don't want to be pigeonholed to one thing. Because what if, let's say, a platform like YouTube could say, we don't want no more politics on the platform. We don't want that no more, right? Like Facebook. Facebook kind of went that route of not wanting too much news and politics, or pushing it way down and not letting it be up top like everything else. Then what? So you better have your own place. And that's why we try to get ahead of the curve before you need to get it. Because unfortunately, a lot of our people talk about, oh, these platforms, this and that and the third. Okay, then we go ahead and create our own things. And then yet it's like a fight to get our people to go to those things. It is. It's not like they be like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go over there and do that. No problem. Cool. So that's also the thing. We cannot say whatever we want to say on these platforms. They will snipe your platform today. You can't talk about certain people on here. I ain't got to go into the groups of people you can't talk about, but you can't talk about certain people on here. Certain people you can. Certain people you can't. You talk about certain people on here in a negative way. Let me say in a negative way. In a negative way, your page, you will be suspended or completely gone, or they'll demonetize you, or both. That's just bottom line. That's their rules. You can say, oh, it's no freedom of speech with a private company. It relates to the government. So we're going to follow all their rules here. Now, you want to talk about certain things, we say, hey, we'll talk about that on the app. For instance, I really want to talk about Angela Rye and her temper tantrum, but prime example. Now you post stuff with the Breakfast Club, and now they're blocking the whole video now. That's something they're doing. We can talk about Angela Rye over there, and that's my plan. I will talk about Angela Rye. So we just let y'all know, this is a whole lot of things y'all don't know that goes on these platforms. So it said Mary says she's a black woman, she's proud. Yeah, Lisa, you're right. We need to create, but also need to support at the same time. And I know people, like I said, I started this page, we only had 1 subscriber. Now we got this one. Okay, cool. When I started the app, I had 0 people on there, right? Now we have now. And so we're trying to get to the 10,000 member mark. So we definitely need to push by almost about 9,000 more we got to go, right? And I think we can get there. So let's get to, and all to the ADHD kids, and I know it's not your fault. You need to learn to be patient. Because then they like, oh, well, he didn't talk about the topic until this time. If I never get to the topic, so what? It's called a live stream. We do that. That happens. If you want just a tailored video and I'm only talking about the topic at that time, go watch Emancipation Media. You can go watch that one. And all my videos are tailored to that topic, and I don't veer off on anything. People told me, I asked them, do you want me to do live streams or not? Because I could have went back and just doing tailored short form videos, and that's it. People say, no, do the live streams. I say, okay. So that's the only reason I do it, because the people requested it. If they told me tomorrow, nah, we cool on the live streams, you can go back to your regular, I'm done. So let me get to, you know what? What we gonna do today? You know what? Yeah, before I get started, I can't recall. So let me go homeboy here, and then we go ahead and get started, and it's gonna be good. So just trust me.
I probably did. I would Detective Thorpe. His brain was the size of a squirrel brain, so you could just tell him anything, he gonna go for it.
You're right. At this time, the state's going to ask permission to treat Mr. Copeland as a hostile witness under pursuant to 24-611, Your Honor.
Granted.
Thank you.
What that mean?
Don't worry about it. That's just for her to understand how she can ask the questions. You just continue to answer them truthfully.
Isn't it true that in this January 11, 2015 interview, that you told Detective Thorpe that at Club Pusha on that Monday before Donovan Thomas was killed, that Kel punched you in the back of your head?
I don't recall what I told the detective.
And is it all? I'm sorry. Cut you off.
I don't recall what I told him specifically, however you pronounce it.
Okay. And is it also true that after Kel punched you in the back of the head, then other people came and began jumping on you as well?
They time gonna come.
That's not the question I asked you. Is it true that you told Detective Thorpe during this January 11, 2000 interview that after Kel punched you in your head, that other individuals also began to jump on you as well?
I don't recall what I done told the police. Y'all gonna charge me for what I did? I don't did the time for the crimes y'all caught me for.
Okay. Would you mind your language while we're sitting here in court?
I'm trying to. You got me. Y'all need to give me a break because my blood pressure is real high. I keep telling y'all, leave me alone.
Okay. And the quicker we get through this, the quicker we can leave you alone. Do you understand?
Okay,
that?
I don't recall.
Okay. Going back to January 11th, 2015.
I don't recall.
Can I finish the question?
Wait and listen to the question.
And they keep bringing up Thug name. So what I did was, to get him off of me, I said, Thug did this, Thug did that, Thug did, because I knew they would never, I knew he didn't do it. And in my mind, I knew that the police would never go mess with him. So it was easy for me to try to throw the blame off on him to get them off of me. And that's what I was doing from all these years. I don't remember what I done told them in the past. But my whole motive was Thug did it because I knew he didn't do it, and they couldn't lock him up. And they keep talking about Thug. So guess what I'm gonna tell them? Yeah. What else you want me to tell them? Yeah, he killed this person. Yeah, he did that. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's right now. If I walk out this thing and they say they police, if I walk out this thing and they say they police stop me now. Hey man, give me something about Thug. Make something up about him again.
On January 11, 2015, when you went to speak to the police.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Woody, and trust me, we could sit up here and watch Woody for over an hour. There's so much footage on Woody, but yeah, classes in session. Get all your books, paper, pencils, and I'm gonna say before we get started, patience is a virtue. If you don't have patience, you're gonna have a horrible life. I promise you that you will have a horrible life. Learn to be patient. So your vice president the other day, let's go back to CNN. So the CNN interview, we're going to start there, and then we're going to go to our debate, right? And, we got to go back to the debate because that's something we're going to tie in. It's going to show a pattern with her and all of that. Let me see here. Where am I at? There we go. And before we do that, make sure you go to vote.gov. Vote.gov. That way you can register to vote. You can update your information. Make sure you participate in the process. Make sure you go to vote.gov, ladies and gentlemen, and Democrat Shields. I'm talking to you too. Go to vote.gov. I know you're here. Now, the weird part, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Democrat Shields don't like nothing I say, but yet they're here. That's interesting. Like on my X account, right? On our X account, they will talk all kind of crap. Then I go to their page and they literally following me. So I'm like, okay, if you accuse me of being MAGA, if you accuse me of being whatever with Trump, I guess, then if you know that, why are you following me? Weirdos. But let's start with the CNN interview real quick. I want y'all just to be reminded of something. So check this out.
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump. Okay. I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so the first time she was asked, say, same old tired playbook. Next question, please. She laughed. Okay, cool. That was CNN. Fine. Now, let's go to the debate.
Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll let that clip play, but let's go back. I want to start right when he asked her. Let me see here. Let me go back.
President Harris, your thoughts on this?
All right, hold on.
And I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
And I don't know why this man asked that question. Nobody cared about that. Remember, we weren't talking about that no more. People care about issues. They don't freaking care about that crap. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue this because we got a point to make.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
Now, the man asked you, what were your thoughts on him talking about you turning black? That's what he wanted to know. He asked you to respond to that. And what did she do? Deflect and talk about him and what he's done or what he's going to do. This woman, listen, I'm so sick of you Democrat shields running around here talking about she a black woman. She gonna be the first black woman every single time. Listen, if any other time she had a chance to, and let me say this, she missed a golden opportunity right there to respond to Trump in real time. The whole world was watching at that time period. Literally, the world was watching that. That was her time to put on her fake sister girl, to put on the Thank a Union member, voice, and let him know that she's a black woman and how dare you ever open your mouth to say I'm not a black woman. That was her time. Come on, Democrat shields. Y'all have to admit, that was her time to shine right there. That was her time to shine. And she failed miserably at shining at that single moment. That could have been her meme. That could have been a whole lot of clips on freaking TikTok. That was her time. She is so committed to playing the biracial two-step, well, I'm in front of these people, I'm this. I'm in front of them people, I'm that. The Democrats say, don't commit to no race, don't say nothing, avoid it, right? Like, it's a time to say something. And she didn't. She refused to. And listen, you, Vice President Kamala Harris, listen. You constantly doing that. Well, I'm fine with it, though. At this point, I'm completely fine with it. I just wish you say you're Indian. I would respect it a lot more if you just say you're an Indian woman. I respect that. There's nothing wrong with being Indian. Nothing. Shout out to what they call it? Bollywood. Shout out to Bollywood. Right? They make some good movies. I'll be checking them out sometime. That was her time to shine. So ask me, so y'all can tell me, because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know nothing, right? I don't profess to be the oracle of anything. Why didn't she, right there in Donald Trump's face, right? Why didn't she went on ahead and she was staring at him the whole debate? She wouldn't stop looking at the doggone man. I thought it was kind of weird. Like, why you keep staring at him the whole time? If you look at that debate, go watch how she just stared at him the whole time. Like, are you enamored with him or what are you doing? Like, Trump wasn't even looking at her. He was actually looking at the moderator. Like, really? I understand sometimes you may turn to him and say something, but the whole time you're staring at this dude, I don't know. I don't know, right? So she would not speak about, so don't tell me, stop telling black people Plies, Luther Campbell, Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, all y'all, Boulay Martin, that's a black woman, and we at Van Jones, watch her, that's a sister. No, because any sister, and you ain't been around black people say sister, any sister I know have no problem telling you they're a black woman, They have no problem getting you told about disrespecting them. And they have no problem repeating it several times if they have to let you know they are a black woman, they're proud, and where they come from, all of that. Once again, I've never met a black woman that has been afraid to tell you they're black women. Never met one. On top of her not answering, we're going to go back to the tape. She's not only going to deflect, but she's going to try to use black trauma. See, Democrats are very good at weaponization of black trauma because the problem is the majority of you, I'm going to say it, the majority of you have not dealt with your trauma, your generational trauma and your current trauma. And because you have refused to deal with your generational trauma and current trauma, that's how Democrats can literally control you and keep you in your emotions. See, Democrats can get me in my emotions because I've dealt with my generational trauma. And also, I've dealt with it in the current trauma too, in relation to being black. I've dealt with it. So that's why they can't trigger me with the things she's about to say. So let's get to how she knows how to use weaponized black trauma to get you in your feelings, right? So she wouldn't say she's black, but let's use black trauma to trigger black people to not only hate him, but to vote for me because it's a nasty work. Watch what she do. Watch.
You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families.
Actually, it was black and Latino families that actually were the investigation. Why didn't you say Latino? Why are you just stuck on black? Remember, the question was what's your response to what he's saying or what he has said about you? So you went from answering a question about your so-called blackness to talking about a court case that he had a long time ago, and they were talking about black and Latino families, and at that time he was a private citizen and he was a Democrat. We'll make sure to put that out there. He was a Democrat at the time too, right? Now he responded to it later, but I'm just saying I know about the case, and it was about black and Latino. Why didn't you put Latinos in it? But it wasn't about bringing Latinos up. It's about bringing you up because you are triggered emotionally, and she knows how to get you going. She knows. Let's continue.
Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5.
Now, think about that. She brought up the ad. Remember, the question was about you and your blackness, and you went to black folks in real estate. Now you went to the Central Park 5, and there was only one Latino. It wasn't a bunch of Latinos. It was one. But now you're bringing that up. And last time I checked, he was still a Democrat at that time period in New York. And remember, Linda Fairstein, who prosecuted the case, Democrat. What was the mayor? Was it Koch? Ed Koch at the time? I think that's his name. Democrat, right? Everybody in New York is a Democrat that prosecuted that case. But she's doing that to weaponize trauma. She was masterful in doing that. She slid away from the race conversation and just completely turned it on him, and then start weaponizing black trauma and to get your mind off of the initial question that she was asked about her blackness. You understand what I'm saying? Hers. She will not answer that question, even on a friendly network like CNN. And how can any black person trust somebody like that the shields say that they're black, but the person themselves won't say they're black? Like, you can't make this up. She's not even helping the shields out. At least help them out to defend you. Give them a soundbite or something. But I get offended. I get very, very offended listening to Democrats play with black trauma for votes. And this is why some black people get angry and upset with those who don't feel that trauma anymore. They can't understand it. They can't understand like how you're not triggered by this or how you're not triggered by that. Or he said this, she said that. How are you not bothered by that? Like, what's wrong with you? Because that person understood and dealt with the reality of what we are as black people. So you could tell me about a court case from a long time ago and him like, so? The Central Park 5, this and that and the third. He put up an ad at the time period based off the information that the DA, Linda Fairstein, and the NYPD and all them put out at the time, right? That he actually was praised for it in New York. You already want to go there. He was praised for putting up the ad in New York at that time. But okay, fine. Look at the way the New York Times talked about the Central Park 5. Look at the way the New York Post talked about the Central Park 5 back then too. If we're going to talk about everybody, let's talk about them all. But that doesn't trigger me either. It doesn't. Because you know why things don't trigger me too much? Because I've learned how people use our pain and our trauma to their benefit. And it's a sinister and wicked thing. And this is why, if you notice, now some of you have actually dealing with your trauma. That's why some of the shaming tactics not working as much as they used to, is because when they tell you your ancestors died, that is weaponizing your trauma. Or you need to vote because this person got blown up in the church. This person was marching. John Lewis, look, he got beat and all that. Dr. King, look at what he suffered. Dr. King this, he did all that for you, right? It's still weaponizing trauma for you. It's kind of like you trying to deal with a wound. You got it covered up trying to heal. And what they do, they rip the Band-Aid off and dig into that wound. You know what I'm saying? And then you trying to put it back on. And every time it's trying to heal, they rip it right back off and dig into that wound. So you never can heal, but you got to know how to keep them away from your wound until you completely heal it. And then once you completely healed, when they tell you your ancestors died, they did. They sure did. That's why you got to vote. Yeah, it's called voting rights. If I want to vote, I'll vote for who I want to vote for. I have a right to do so. And that means, well, but who you going to vote for? I don't know. You don't tell, but you got to vote now. You got to vote for the Democrats. I don't have to vote for whoever. I don't vote for nobody. What are you talking about? Hey, this person over here, he said this and that and the third, he did this. Okay, and your supervisor then did some things too. Are you quitting your job? See, when you heal from your trauma, you can respond that way. Because you actually respond with common sense and reality. Reality is, you live in the United States of America. 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with them folks, they done said some racist stuff in their lifetime. From my experience, yeah. Your current supervisor right now, I guarantee you they done said some stuff about you or somebody in their family about our people in their household. Or you gonna quit that job making $80,000 a year? You know good and well they don't like you because you're black. You know that. There's times you see it you feel like on the tip of their tongue they want to say, I don't like you. Like, they want to say it. But they don't want to lose their job either. Oh, you gonna quit your job? You gonna leave a good job because you know he or she don't like you and you know it's because you're black. You gonna quit? What about at the grocery store? They got people at the grocery store that don't like us either. Oh, you're not gonna go to the grocery store? They got people at the gas station, no matter where they come from, don't like us either. Oh, you're not gonna get gas? In one instance, you get that. But in another instance, with the Democrats, y'all let them play with y'all like that. And that's how I look at reality. I look at reality is, now one of them political parties look out for black people. Now one of them. People say, well, they're not talking about black people. Now one of them are. So when you're not being spoken about, then okay, fine. What policies I can use out of that can benefit me, benefit my people? Because clearly now one of them is going to be focusing on black people. We ain't the conversation. We're not. Reality speaking, Asians isn't the conversation either. Reality speaking, I ain't hear them have a Hispanic agenda either. I haven't heard them have an Arab agenda or any other group agenda. I haven't heard it. So we got to deal with our trauma, look at reality, and we gotta not let people who is not even part of our families or anybody that mean anything to us to weaponize trauma like that. But let's continue.
Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor.
No, we don't.
We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
What Hallmark card did she get that from? Seriously. What did she get that from? That woman said a bunch of nothing. What dreams? What are these dreams? What are you talking about? That leave a person confused. Now, the original question was, what is your response to Donald Trump saying that about you and how you identify? That's the original question. Where all that come from? Like, so don't y'all ever in your life come tell me we gotta vote for this black woman. This is not a black woman. This is not a black woman. This is not a black woman. And the sad part is she won't even say she's Indian. But also I kept noticing a theme with her too. Is she misandrist? Let me say why I say misandrist. And this is why a lot of black men got away from the Democrat Party too. The reason why I say is she misandrist, because every time I look up, she's talking about single mothers, grandmothers, this mom, that mom. But, she never talk about dads. She never talk about grandfathers, uncles. Everything is like think about it. All that push about, abortion and all that she push. And then somebody just recently, two people did this, and you mentioned abortion. So they said that Donald Trump lied about them doing abortions to the 7th, 8th, and 9th month. They had people literally on TikTok recently calling abortion clinics and saying that they're 34 weeks, they're 36 weeks, because, it's like 40 weeks to term for a child. So it's late term. They even asked them, can I do it like maybe like in the 9th month? They even said, yes, you can. Now, the outside the womb thing, that's no. But actually in the 9th month, yeah, they'll do it. They will do it. That was crazy. I don't dive into that topic. That topic for me is just like, it's and this woman's running around talking about this topic all the time. and this woman have not biologically had a child. That's offensive to me in a way, because you don't even know how it feels to be a mother. And you run around here being a promoter of that? Seriously? And then you want to go promote that to our girls and our women, but them immigrant women that come across that border over there, you're not putting up no Planned Parenthood mobile van over there, a mobile clinic, and telling them, hey, you're poor, you can't afford anything. Hey, let's get some of this good reproductive justice going in this clinic. You never tell them immigrant women anything. Every time I look up and see immigrant women, they with their husbands and they with their gang of children. Black folks better pay attention to that. Them immigrants coming in families. They're not coming as single mothers. They're coming in families. Like that story the other day about the Venezuelans getting a home in Chicago. There was the husband, the wife, 2 children, and they had a dog too. A whole family. They're not trying to be outside. They're not trying to be against each other talking about 50-50 conversation, which is dumb. They're taking advantage because the American government wants them here, obviously, Biden and them, and they move it in a unit. But we arguing about the facilities in the community. The immigrants aren't out here talking about some reproductive justice. That's not what the immigrants talking about. And you talk, and some of you, when you talk about immigration, some of it you better lay at your own feet too. Because if you wouldn't have sat up here and participated in the Democrat Party's reproductive justice platform, the immigrants that's here now would not be able to outnumber you, at least right now. Think about it. If you would not have participated in reproductive justice like the Democrats wanted you to do, and a lot of you have done, the immigrants coming over here maybe could probably equal you, but they wouldn't. Listen, the black population should be like 70, 80 million right now. Give it, hands down. It should be 70 to 80 million FBAs in this country right now. Hands down. Damon, what you mean we are arguing who is black? I don't know what we mean. You need to explain yourself. But participating in the Democrats' reproductive justice is why we don't have about 80 million FBAs in this country. But then people want to get mad at the immigrants. The immigrants come in here, they don't believe in reproductive justice. They believe in having 3 children minimum. Minimum. Some may have 5 children. And when they get over here, they will keep having them. They will keep having them. And that's how you get outpopulated. And they get pregnant pretty quick. No, we're not over no 70 million. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. We could be, but no. The census say 47. Now, the 47 accounts for about 2 million black immigrants. But so let's say 45 million. Let's say that. We shouldn't be 45 million on paper. We should be 70, 80 million on paper. Give account those who don't be counted. But if you say, well, there's more of us here than 45 million, okay, let's say 50. Maybe 50, 53. I still say it should be 80, 85 million of us here if you wouldn't have took. But the problem is, this is the problem. We have so many of our sisters who's in immense rebellion to the brother in the community, just in big rebellion. Because I don't know no black man that champions that. I'm talking about that's the norm. Not some sorry, dusty dude who don't want to take care of his responsibilities. Yeah, he champions that sort of thing. But most brothers don't champion that. They're not out there saying, ooh, that's what I want to vote for her for because of that. No. They sit up here and go follow Becky. Because see what Becky do. Becky wants that because when she go fool with Tyrone and whoever else, she want to sneak in to Planned Parenthood and get rid of the evidence of the crime. Because, you know, if her people find out she having a baby with Tyrone, oh, she getting cut off. So when she get pregnant from Tyrone, she want to sneak into the black community in the middle of the day or night somewhere with a hoodie on, go get her reproductive justice, and go creep back up to the white community up there. No harm, no foul. But listen to Becky. Becky still is in line with her man. Oh, yes, she is. She'll tell you to be against brothers, but she gonna follow everything that white man tell her to do. No matter how much her mouth running, at the end of the day, even your biggest feminists, they going right home to their husband. And gonna do what he tell her to do, too. Because one thing about them, they not trying to give up their privilege for none of y'all. And no matter what she tell you, I can't stand them, whatever. Her privilege is tied to them. She's not going to get too far out of line. So don't like I said, don't tell me nothing about, and think about it. What black woman you know is constantly pushing that? Even if a black woman support it. Now, I met some black women who support that, but they're not out here preaching it constantly to people. That's just something their personal views. You don't see a bunch of black women on the front line. You see maybe some little outliers sprinkle in here and there, but most black women aren't out here promoting that. That's not what they do. I'm like, how is that supposed to be benefiting our community? And I saw a thing the other day, a person was talking about this. If you're a so-called Christian and you follow the Bible, right? You say you love God and all that, but you know, if you follow the Bible, then you can't support that. But then you got Warnock. He talking about he a pastor, but he running around here talking about a woman's right to choose. Like I said, but that's why I don't go. That's why I can't deal with the church right there, because I would respect the church if y'all would get him out of there for saying that. I say, hey, hold on, bruh. That's not thus saith the Lord. Man, you about to incur the judgment of God on this church. You out. We want somebody that's gonna speak. You say you are worldly and go out there in the world and go be a senator, whatever you're gonna do, out of here. Because you're not gonna be in here agreeing with those things. No. That's why I can't fool with the church. Not God, the church. Oh, she did another interview? Was she that same woman on that debate? Oh, okay. I gotta watch that interview. Well, who did she interview with? Because I'm gonna go watch that interview. I gotta see that interview. And y'all say she did bad? Okay, who she interviewed with? I'll look for it on YouTube. Because trust me, if she don't sound like that woman that was on that debate stage the other night, it's going to further lead more speculation that she was either fed debate questions. Now, rumor has it there's a whistleblower from ABC saying that they're going to come out saying that she was given sample questions before the debate, and they say the exact questions that she was given was read at the debate. If she don't sound like that same woman in that interview, you say she did bad. If she don't sound like the same woman, then I believe that 2,000%. Because, like I said, when she was at the debate, I said, where that Kamala been? Like that woman, who's this woman? Okay, I'm a look. You see, it look like it happened. Okay, I'm gonna look for it online. I'll find it, and I'm gonna look at it, and I'm gonna check that out. Because she was all trying to be sassy and everything on the debate stage. But what was that sassiness in these interviews? Okay, oh, she'll buy some Action News? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give me a second. Give me a second. What's going on here? Okay. All right. Okay. I'll find it. Hold on. I'm looking for it on my phone right now. Just give me a second so I can pull it up. Let me see. Let's see. Action. You say Action News, right? Oh, okay. I see it. It's like 11 minutes. I'm not even looking at it just yet, and she looked lost. Y'all ain't lying. I'm not even watching it all the way, and she looked lost. Okay, I'm gonna check it out as soon as I get out here, and we probably review that tomorrow. Yeah, we'll review it tomorrow. We will review it tomorrow. All right, ladies. Yeah, I got it. I already got it. I got it. You say it's our school buddy. Say they real tight. Okay, that's fine. I'll check it out. But thank y'all for say she tried to update her policies on her platform. It is different from 9/9. What? Hold on. What did she do that was slick? Because that changed. What did she do that was different? Her policy. Hold on. I'll look through this and see if anything that changed. But it looks like just the site itself kind of changed a little bit. But I'll look at it. Yeah, I'll look at it, y'all. But anyway, thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very important. And once again, make sure you go to African Diaspora News Channel app and the Google Play and Apple App Store. Because, for instance, last night, you remember the sister Nessa that came by? Certain parts, she was really cooking. Now, on YouTube, I had to kind of edit a part out because she was cooking a little too much. But if you go on the app, nothing is edited over there, okay? Nothing is edited. You can watch it unedited all the time over there, right? These platforms got to watch what you say here. But thank y'all for listening. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for our stream.